Hi YouTube, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. So I just shot a video and then I thought I'd turn the camera off and I looked up and it was still going. It's got 24% less battery, or 24% battery, and I thought, you know what, to heck with it. Let's just shoot a video of me sharpening the kitchen knives. I mean, I've already got most of the pairs done. That big block right there. These are the ones that I'm working on. These are my personal kitchen knives. In my house we have his and hers kitchen knives. I've got all the different knives that I test all the time, and you know, different geometries and different styles and all that kind of stuff. And then my wife's got her Chicago cutlery set that we bought when we just got married. Oh, almost 20 years ago, something like that. There's one of them right there. So I figured I'd just do a quick, you know, video of me sharpening the different knives. I know a lot of times, you know, my sharpening videos start with the coarsest stone and they end up with what I'm finishing on, which is the DMT 325 most of the time. But a lot of times, you know, you don't need to go all the way to the coarse side. So let's tilt you down here. Like this particular knife right here, what I've got here is two jumbo Norton crystalline coarse fines. The one on the right's the coarse side up, and this is the fine side up. A Natural Whetstone Company soft arc, and then a Natural Whetstone Company hard arc. Both of these, or all three of these, were lapped with 220 grit stick powder. And this one, actually, I haven't lapped it yet because, well, I just bought it like a couple of months ago and hadn't had enough sharpening time on it. But anyway, so the idea is, if you know you've got a knife that's really beat up, you know, set them all out, and then you don't have to swap stones. You just sharpen, wipe it, you know, all the way through the end. So this knife right here, it's a paring knife. We use paring knives like steak knives around here in my house. So typically speaking, from here to here will be okay. From here to here, well, that's the part that gets in contact with plates and everything. So we're going to go ahead and just take this one to the soft arc and spend most of the time sharpening that belly up in there. Now I'm using quite a bit of pressure here just because this is one of those, it's halfway in between, and you really, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. If you were to start with a coarser one and take fewer number of strokes, but then you got to come back to the, see, that's all it took and that damage was out right there. But then you still have to go to the next stone and get that scratch pattern removed. So now the knife is feeling pretty even on both sides, just from the way that the knife is going across the stone. Okay, so now we're going to really lighten up on our pressure, get that burr weakened up. Okay, it's in good shape. Now we're going to go ahead and remove it on this this hard arc. This Natural Whetstone Company, the hard arc and the soft arc, they feel very close to me. As far as density and the way they cut, I actually like the hard arc. I think it's a little bit more aggressive. Okay. So we can shave it or we can cut some newspaper. Where are y'all at? Right up in there? Great, that cuts good. Okay, so we'll throw this one over at the sink. Next one, bread knife. Let's go Vance's knife. This is Vance's favorite kitchen knife. Just one that I made a long time ago. And it is going to need the coarse side. I mean, it is done. I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, it's pretty dull. So let's actually time this here. I got this timer set at 5. No, let's see. If I clear it and then start. Yep. Let's see how long it's going to take to go from really dull all the way to sharp. So this one's so dull we got to start on the coarse side. Most of the damage is up in that forward third of the blade, where he cuts plates with it when he's cutting steak, or if I'm cooking and the chicken's really tough, you know. So we spend more time up in there. Like I said, a lot of guys count strokes. You know, honestly, I don't think it matters all that much. Okay, so that's how fast this crystalline cuts, is that we've already established a burr on one side, and we've got all our shaping done. So now let's wipe it off so we're not getting, you know, coarse particles in this side. And then we'll start on this side. So right now all we're doing is shaping. You know, I mean, we're kind of getting it sharp, I guess, but to me, with sharpening, you've got shaping and then you've got sharpening. So now we got a good consistent burr. Now this knife isn't quite as bad as an awful lot of the kitchen knives you see. You know, you ever been to a yard sale, or you know, you go to a friend's house or something, and you're trying to help them cook, and they say, hey, or you say, hey, where are the kitchen knives? And they point you to a drawer that's got, you know, 10 kitchen knives that are all beat all to hell, never seen a sharpening stone, and they're in that drawer beating each other up every time you open and close the door, or open and close the drawer. So now we got the burr. It's feeling much more consistent. It's on both sides. We're all the way shaped. We're probably 90% to have a cutting edge right there. You know, those type of knives, you know, honestly, you know, people that have got a knife like that, and then they go to a YouTube channel, you know, on sharpening, and the guy talks about, you know, how he likes a hard arc versus a soft arc, or, you know, a hard arc versus a, you know, a Smith's fine diamond stone, right? Yeah, those folks need to be way back here at the crystalline coarse fine, or almost at a belt grinder type of stage first. Okay, so now we have got, oh, not quite. There we go. Okay, so where we're at now is that we've got, so this soft arc, you know, you don't really know what grit rating it is. I would guess it's probably in the 600 to 800-ish range, something like that. So we've got a knife that's got a burr that's been moved from both side to side, and we're at our base level of, I guess, polish, if you want to call it that. So now what we need to do is now we actually start going for a sharp finished edge. And now we do 3 or 4 or 10 strokes on each side. You know, we're just moving that burr back and forth, weakening it, lightening up on our pressure, kind of getting everything refined and getting that burr in a good place to be shearing it. And it feels pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and finish it off. You guys can still see me. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's put this one on top of here. Now you can see me better. Okay, so in this stage of the game, now what we're going to do is we're going to shear that burr off. We got it weakened. We got a hard arc here with a 220 grit SICK finish on it, silicon carbide. And we're going to put, we're going to shear that burr off. So our sharpening angle was, oh, I don't know. I tell everybody just high enough to where you're not scratching the blade finish. So, I don't know, 15 degrees, something like that. And then shearing that burr off is going to be at 30-40 degrees, somewhere around there, and very, very light pressure. Okay, we got no reflection of light. The burr feels like it's gone. We feel like we got a sharp edge. Can you do a little bit of curlies? No, not quite. Ah. See how it is? No, can't quite do curlies, but oh yeah, it's popping hair really nice. And both directions, which means we don't have a burr anymore. So I'll have to warn Vance that his favorite kitchen knife is now sharp again. So let's see how much battery life we have left. We got 14%. Oh, 6 minutes. We probably spent about a minute talking. So to go from coarse crystalline, and this knife needed everything. So coarse crystalline, fine crystalline, soft arc, hard arc was roughly 5 minutes or so. You know, not bad. I guess if I hadn't have been, you know, running off at the mouth, I probably would have got it done faster. So anyway, that was Vance's knife. Let's see. Now we go to my wife's favorite 7-inch chef. You can tell she hadn't been cooking a whole lot lately because it's only got, this one's only got a couple of glints right up in here, and that's about it. So we're going to go straight to the soft arc. Just kind of clean things up a little bit. Okay, we got that burr moved to the other side. This is Chicago Cutlery stainless, so it's pretty soft stuff. But she likes it, so that's the knife that she uses most of the time. Okay, so now we're got that all cleaned up. Now we're going to go to the hard one. One problem that I have with soft stainless knives like this is that a lot of times the burr doesn't want to shear off quite as easy. Or it could be that it's shearing off just as easy, but that since it's so soft, it's creating a new bevel as you're getting rid of the old one. There we go, that one's back to good. Popping hairs. Popping hairs that way. And hair all over the dang thing. Put it over by the sink. Alright, now let's see how much time we got left. We got 13%. This is going to end up being a 20-minute video. Let's see. Let's go with the one that I've been using the most lately. This is an 8-inch class chef, 1095, nice thin grind, full flat grind, probably, oh, what is that? That's probably thickened up to about 15 thousandths at the shoulder. Oh, I was way off. That's 11 thousandths at the shoulder of the edge. It cuts really good, so I use it quite a bit. And honestly, this one right here, I think we're just gonna, I think the last time this one saw a stone was about six or 8 months ago. And I use it the most, so we're just gonna do a couple of light strokes on the soft arc, and then finish on the hard arc, and we should be good to go. Okay, we got just a hint of a burr forming, which honestly, as good as this edge looks, that's about all that we need. Alright, now we'll add a little bit more oil to float bits and pieces of burr off of our finishing stone. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but that stone is really cutting nice with that 220 grit sick finish on it. Oh, that's nice there. Not bad. Let's see. You know what? We should have time for another nasty one. Let's see if we can't find a really rough one in here. I don't think I've hardly even used that one a couple of times. No, that one's too nice. Man, everybody's been doing pretty good with the kitchen knives lately. I think that one's probably going to be the worst one in the bunch right now. And it still isn't too bad. So I guess we don't have another one that we can go start to finish on. This is a J.A. Hinkle's, like a 5-inch utility. Oh, can you guys see what we're doing here? I'm really liking these Natural Whetstone Company stones. You know, I don't think they were all that expensive for the, well, even the real nice ones. So this is a 10-inch by 3-inch by 1-inch, soft and the hard, and then I've got the same 10 by 3-inch, but they're in 1/2-inch. Soft, and they're translucent black, and they're pretty nice stones also. But these ones right here are the ones that I will use, have used, and think I will use the most. Oh, what am I doing here? I'm supposed to be, that's what happens, sitting there chatting instead of paying attention to what I'm doing. We need to be shearing the burr off. You know, they really weren't all that expensive. I want to say these were maybe like $40 each, which $40 each for a chunk of sharpening stone like that, you know, that I can keep dressed with. You know, I think each time I dress these stones, you know, it might cost, I don't know, maybe a dime worth of silicon carbide powder. And I think those sheets of plate glass that I buy are, I think when I go down there and buy them, they're like $15 a piece, something like that. And unless you're, I did wear one of those pieces of glass out trying to flatten out a black Arkansas stone. But for the rest of the time where you're just kind of doing normal maintenance, I'm just guessing here, but I would guess it'd probably take me like 2 years to go through one of those pieces of plate glass. Once it got worn down to the point where it wasn't giving me a flat stone on one side, and then switch to the other side and doing the same thing. You know, so honestly, this way right here is a pretty dang cheap way of sharpening compared to, you know, buying diamond stones all the time. Anyway, I think they're just about done on the battery, and this is about a 20-minute video anyway. And honestly, this was just kind of a off-the-cuff, just having you watch me sharpen a whole bunch of knives. Anyway, so I don't know if you're going to like it or not. Anyway, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.